Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I've got a beautiful Sony TC-KA7 for service, and I'm already did open the door. I see the good has condition, shows a little bit of wear but still in pretty good shape. And what I mentioned right away, so the door is broken. See, on the left side it's not hold, and on the right side I'm already see a screw installed right there, and it's versus a proper working piece. So we need a donor, we need a new door, because if I believe I may restore this one, but let's see. For this nice deck, I hope donor should do the trick. So you see, it's placed, and I tried to install the tape, and it just don't go in with the tape. I installed. So password, lines, and now in place. Alright. So let me open it. Let me see if I can restore this door, or you would need a replacement. See you soon. And hello again. I have this nice deck disassembled and pull out tape transport. Luckily, I just forget that in these later generations they use the metal pins. So you see the one on the right side. I thought that it was replaced, it's not. And I found inside the parts which should fix the left side. So technically it was probably serviced poorly. So this plastic retaining ring was not installed correctly, like not sit into this cut on the axle. And that's why it just fall out and disassembled. So this would be an easy fix. It has a pretty thin belt. Belt is replaced, and it's not in a poor shape, what I might tell. Capacitors are original behind this motor. So I believe it was serviced, and this fault is a result of this poor service. So what I will do, I will reassemble, lubricate, and do full service for this tape transport. I'm not sure about quality of this belt, because it's not sits in a proper position. It should sit in the cut right there. So when belt is installed poorly, so you see, let me slowly move it to the proper position. Okay. Now it sits in a proper position, and it should work better, because this capstan, the driving one, has a cut and has, like you see, this top position excuse me, in a cut. That's where a belt always would keen to go to most stretched position. Now it would work better. So in any way, let me do a full service. You remember I have multiple videos on this tape transport, so I would not repeat over again. I will just do it offline. Oh, here I see another fix. That's interesting. I didn't expect that, so something is pretty weird. I need to understand what's going on with this tape transport. This should not be so. They connected this pin with this pin here. So maybe the cable is broken. Okay, let me investigate this more. Maybe there is more surprises. We'll see. I will update you if there are, I will find any new surprises. So see you and bye-bye. Hey guys, and I'm completing do more discoveries. So the belt appeared to be original, and I will show you proof right here. That's the original belt, just it was reversed, installed like that. So it's still stretchy, so probably we will measure its turns, and if it's still sufficient, we may leave it, because original belts always works better. And you see they have like I believe 3 millimeter wide, when my belts are 5 millimeter wide, so that may affect wound flutter as well. So I removed the direct drive control board. These capacitors are original, has not been replaced, appears still to be in a good shape, but for safety I will go and replace them right away. Let me disassemble the rest and see if more surprises are waiting for us. So see you soon. Here guys, I'll continue disassembly, and you may take a better look on the head condition. So I believe it's very good condition. Pinch rollers are original and hardened like a stone. So I would replace them, and you may see that it was not dismounted, so it still has a factory sealant here on the left pinch roller arm. Okay, moving on. Capstans dry, so when I was removing them, they like barely get out through the bearings. So that's where we would need to lubricate, and I believe I need to disassemble everything else and lubricate it properly, so it will work for many years. See you. Well guys, here I disassembled everything. You see all the screws and parts, and I see that it just was like sprayed with lubricant everywhere. So you may see this piece is wet, so I would be cleaning it up. Lubricant here, it just like hell of lubricant everywhere, even here on the board. Okay, let me clean it up. Lubricate is needed, and let's see, probably that's where we're trying to fix screaming motors whenever they've been doing. Let me fix it properly. See you soon. Well guys, here I decided to make assembly video because I had to disassemble everything and clear all parts from the tons of lubricant they just sprayed from the top. Now the proper way, I put a drop of lubricant onto each bearing, then work them like that, rotate, again work like that, rotate, so lubricant gets into the bearings, and these motors don't produce any squeaking sounds, because these motors from Sony are known like when you turn them on, and they can like sound pretty loud due to these bearings dried. I'm already did show you a couple times how to fix that, and if you know that your Sony deck don't have any like speakers and still screaming aloud at these two bearings, right? Now let me replace these two caps, so as I will also replace caps on the direct drive board. So, and I meet you here. I will replace these two 10 microfarads, and will remove this wire from here because this is not original. We would see what was the root cause. See you in a moment. Well guys, I'm ready to continue. I just replaced these two capacitors with Nichicon UKT series. Okay, and replaced these two guys with the Panasonic caps, so always worth to check, and there is no short circuit and nothing will fall. Yeah. Nice and clean. and holds really well. Now let's start assembly. So put these guys here. No, wrong, like that. Yes. Install into this board. So when I just tried to remediate the noises first time myself, I saw that these two gears here screaming, but no, it's bearings. So don't be fooled. These bearings are quite noisy. Sometimes you may get scared why your deck produces such loud sound. So that's the reason. I hope now it will work smoothly. Okay, so we're fixing motors to the main board here with 4 screws. And here are the rolls. Technically we don't need so much lubricant here because these plastic gears usually work smoothly. So that's our location sensor. I work it out a little bit. Now you see this triangle should get into position with this mark here, and that's where it should be. So this part is ready for further assembly. Now I will get lubricant and start applying it into different spaces. And first of all, this plastic parts here and here, a little bit to this axles, a little bit into this position, into this moving part, because it rolls here. This bronze roller rolls over this plastic gear, which acts as a lever and release the tape and loads it back. And I might put a little bit here onto these gears so they wouldn't be so noisy. Good. Next, we have to lubricate this command gear from 2 sides, and let's start from underneath. And we have to lubricate this internal part. That's where our heads will be moving. This pin from heads moving on this internal part. Everything else is for different models. We may lubricate, but it's not necessary. Just for the case, if I'm missing something, but I don't think so. Good. Now we have to install it. So when it's in the low position, this mark should be looking into this lever here. And that's where this pin will get right here. Excuse me. Okay, it didn't sit fully. Now it pushes the heads and returns back. Okay. So that's how it will work. See, this is playback position. This is fast forward rewind when it just releases the brakes, and that's where when it pulls the heads to the tape. Works. Next, I will lubricate here. That's where our lever, which pushes the gear, will be acting. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe just right here. This top part. Yeah, because it will use this inclination to push the lever. Now I'm ready to install this guy here. It just clicks in position and it locks the head when head is fully engaged with the tape. So now a little bit lubricant to this shaft and into this hole here. Now you see, so this internal part will be moving this lever and close heads in a position, lock them when gear will fully rotate it to the playback. Next we added here a little bit, and that's how it works. So when it gets into this side, to the a little bit to the playback position, I think maybe password right, it will push this gear, you see here, and this will get into contact and allow real motor through other gears rotate this large gear to release the tape. And this is the last one, which sits between real motor and these gears here. Right. Good. Next one. This gear here. And now we have to align this so it sits properly to install the last one. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to wipe out this gear. Otherwise our belt would not be holding well. Okay, and last one gets here. And when this mark looks here, this pin looks fully bottom, and this mark's aligned, so you see these two cheeks will get just around this pin. So carefully installing everything back, but we need to put a belt first. So you see, it's still good, stretchy, and it's original. To pull it, remove this gear, put it right here on these two pins, and assemble it like that. Okay, now align everything, and we're ready to insert screws. So the long one gets here, and shorter ones, one here, one is the main gear, and two on the top. Now, before we do anything else, so you see the switch right there. If you will assemble in this position, we can break the switch. So just gently push it in and lower. Now it's ready for assembly. And I'm starting from this screw here. Okay. Now the next one. Now we can tight a little bit, because it's everything gets into the plastic. Don't over tight, you will just break the plastic in this edge. And the last two. Alright, that's where we assembled this part. Oh, I see another lubricant here. Again, these guys just like put it everywhere. Next part, need to check that there is a tension, a little bit tension from the spring, right? And that's how the roller will change position between left and right wheel. Here a little bit of lubricant. I would not wipe it out. You don't need much here, and it's locked by the small plastic ring. And you can install it with your finger and check that this rotates on the position. Alright, done. Next, wiped out these shafts for the idlers. And we may install the bearing space back right here. It locks with the 4 screws. I'm sorry, I need a second. This guy here. Okay, now when we assemble this, remember to push the belt on the gear right from those pins we install it. So good. So this command belt is installed. Next, I would start from capstans. So, and that's where we will lubricate them. Because they were too dry. So you see, they struggle to get into position. And I need to remove this wire from the FG coil. Here I'm installing the spacer, like oil prevention ring. I don't know like all these names. Sorry. Oh, that's that's tough. Go. Now it's good. Now it runs good. Okay, and installing the ring back. It's maybe oil ring, something like that. Okay. Done. Now wipe inside. Good. Install the belt. Oh, I forget to measure. Just a second. Ideal, 115. Proper size. It's 115, 116. So it's not stretched yet and still works well. And that's where we need to install it. So the white mark should be outside right here. Now we can close this board. What I forget, forget to add lubricant to the back shores of the capstans here, and wipe them up. So you see those blue things, that's sapphire, and it's mined on the Afghanistan shafts. Now we can close it. Afghanistan mines, sorry. Sometimes I'm missing two languages and don't pay much attention to it. And the last one here gets to hold these wires. Now removing this guy. And installing it right here. Now we have a ground on the chassis. Attaching FG coil here. Attaching power to the direct drive motor here. Now I will be removing this weird thing. I will resolder all pins just for the case if there was a malfunction. And make sure that there is no short circuit. Good. I believe we're done with this part. Now let's work from the front side. Let's demagnetize the head. capstans. Good. Now I have to wipe out capstans from the oil which can get there while we were lubricating. That's why I use isopropyl and cotton swabs. I'm just rotating capstans and cleaning. And it's a good chance to clean up the heads well while we have full access. Good. So next I have to replace pinch rollers. For the right side it's quite easy. It just pops up like that, and we install in the new one. So I see it was dry and have some scratches in it already. Now I will use just a little bit of lubricant inside this hole, and our shaft should be running pretty well. Okay. Good. We're done with the right side. Left side not so easy. We need to remove this plastic part and remove the guide. Like that. Right. And now I will go to vice and carefully push this shaft inside. So you see this one has a bump here, so I believe we should push it inside. So give me a second, I will be back to you quite soon. Okay, I'm back. It required just a little bit to push it in. So, and then we can just pull it out here for the corner here. Oh yeah, so probably it was the wrong direction, but it went quite easy here. Done. And see the old, they tried to revive it with something, but it's still like very, very hard. No. Half of the drop here. Installing the shaft. So let's go from this side. Yeah, see, from this side it gets easier. And just close it in. That's it. And that's how we roll in. Good. Now installing the guide back. Oh, it's full of some lubricant or glue on it. Let me wipe it. I'm not sure what they've been doing. Like spraying from the top. All deck with lubricant is a Japanese way to lubricate the gears. Really. It's inside dirt as well. Okay. Here we go. When we assemble, we're checking that roller still can rotate free. Good. Now these pieces. Wrong side. Here. Now we have to lubricate the shafts for the rollers. So one is here. So one is here. Now install the spring, install the roller assembly right here in position, and tie the knot. Right side, here we go, and installing this plastic clips. Good. It's worn guys, old guys. Now installing this light. Done connecting, so it should go through this hole here. And connecting on the top. Done. Now tune up the guide and check the head position. So technically we can rise them up using the power supply of 6 volts. Okay, I just did it. Oh, a little bit more. Okay, locked in a position. And checking heat. Perfectly gets here, gets in. Now we're checking how far head goes. It's just on 0 level, ideal. And then we need to adjust this guide. I'm almost get here too low. Little bit higher. That would be good. That's a good position. Yeah, right here. Good. I will not lock now. We will adjust precisely with the mirror cassette. Now I will reverse polarity and pull heads down. Ready. So the last part would be to assemble the door. Nothing special. Just put it properly into position. And that's the pin which fall out because it wasn't assembled properly. So this plastic ring, when you install it, I'm using my tools here to push it from both sides so it gets into the cut on the shaft. In this case it will not fall out, so it should be rotating here in the cut. If it's not rotating, so it's not installed properly. Now see, it will be working. Next part, install this metal retainer and install the spring. Done. And we completed assembly, so that's what you can do now following my instructions. See you in the next part. And here guys we have everything running, so see, fast forward, rewind, playback works, everything works. So they installed a shortcut here because they not fully pushed this connector back in the board, so it was popping up from one side. Crazy. So next would be the measurements and tuning, and then we will be replacing capacitors on the audio boards to make it running nice. Why? So with this tape transports, it's always predictable what to do if you know like how to service them. Very good transport, everything made from metal, hard to break. So it's nice and easy to work on. And here some Dolby labels recorded, so probably this was from Nakamichi testing, CR7, the last I did. Why, good. Let me connect oscilloscope and let's start do some first measurements. Hello guys, and here I do first measurements. I just installed the frequency sweep tape and I'm checking the frequency response, so you may see the phase is ideal. I had to adjust a little bit left guide to make this phase run without adjusting the head. And as you may see, it works in all range perfectly well. And it's even gets plus 1 decibel on 15 kilohertz to the levels of the new deck we've been recording this tape on. and it's a great result. So frequency response, it's full match up to 13 kilohertz, and after 13 to 15 it gets +1 decibel. Good. Here is the needles, but they are almost not moving in all range, so not much interesting to observe. So good results. This DEX perform like a new. I will discuss, I believe owner would like to replace capacitors to make it work even better than that. And replacing capacitors, I'm already shown a couple times the procedure. So these double stacked capacitors, which you may find on schematic, like two here, and two here in each channel. I'm replacing with one bipolar, twice less capacity, like 10 microfarad versus 22 installed, and replacing all other capacitors as needed. And on the lower board, the same, replacing all capacitors on the audio pass, and on the front there is four capacitors, two on each channel, which are like 4.7 microfarad, and they stacked as well. So I replace them with 2.2 microfarad Muse bipolar. So that would be it for this part. Let me discuss and do upgrade of capacitors, and then we will have a listening session. Thank you. Bye bye. And here, guys, I just discovered additional issue. I'm installing the frequency tape and wow and flutter, and what I see, frequency is too low, 294344, and you see the right side is jumping, so up and down, so it would mean that it will have a poor wow and flutter. It should not be moving at this frequency. So I'm already know what the root cause. I'm fixed it on couple decks before. It's a spring on the right pitch roller, which installed in the arm. So over time it don't give enough tension, and that's where deck struggles to pull tape through the left pitch roller. Okay, so technically I measure it, so deck thinks that speed is okay, and if you will remove, pull up the left pitch roller, you may see the speed will normalize, 3000 hertz. And as I just pull it out left pitch roller and pull it back, and you may see the speed is drops. Okay, I won't have a tool we may measure the force here, but on all decks which I received from Japan, which work properly with proper speed, with 2994998, right? The right torque was 480 to 500 grams, and on the weekend deck I measure it usually less, like 300 grams. So let me see if I can do it now with one hand. So this is my measurement tool. I need a little bit more light here. And let me see. No, I don't see, I need to see when it stops rotating. Okay, let me do it and I tell you results. Okay, I just used the two hands and I measured 320 grams. That's definitely not enough. Factory spec is 400, but 400 didn't work for me well. Usually I do 500 and then it's work. Okay, I've got 320. So that's a problem. I need to remove tape transport again, remove the lever, remove the spring, and bend it so it will have bigger pressure, and then install it back into the lever or arm, and I can install everything back. So see you in a moment. Hey guys, so here is this arm and this black spring which needs adjustments. So what I will be doing, I will be removing it from here like that. Now, you see, the force which it applies, it's when we bend it right here. So when pinch roller gets up, it's being pushed by this side, and it consequently pushes the lever here. So what we need to do, we need to insert something so it would not be bending poorly, and like open it more. Even more, I believe. This means now when we will install it back, it will have much bigger force than it had before, and will be pushing significantly harder. And we should get about 500 grams to make it running well. And that's the Sony design. With other manufacturers, I have seen different. We use not so like strong springs, but on Sony it doesn't work other way. Now I have to put it down. Yeah, around like that. So fix it in this position. Now while it will pull it, the force applied will be much stronger. Okay, so installing it back. Done. Okay, now I may use this motor to pull this everything up, but this probably would be not proper way, because I don't know when it stops, when it's connected. So I may connect the wires and measure again. See you soon. Okay guys, I bent the right spring and now it measures 470 grams, but it didn't help. It's still jumping up and down. I measured the left side, and left side is 300 grams, which is above. It should be 200 or like 180 for the best performance. I have to disassemble again and like reduce tension on the left spring. It's just too much. Alright, see you. Okay guys, I'm still like trying to solve this puzzle. So I'm currently playing 3000 gears tape, and it shows 2937 to 947 range. You see? 2935, 43. Now I push lower the left pinch roller. 2994, 2992, the proper speed for this tape transport. 2993, okay. And as soon as I release it back, it drops. And right tension is currently 400 grams and left just 100 grams. And it still doesn't work. I'm puzzled. I'm trying to solve this for a third day now, and it doesn't work. See ya. Okay guys, I continue my research, and I just was pulling out the reels and cleaning old lubricant on the shafts and oiled them. And now you may see how quickly Sony may fast forward and rewind the tape. Really much quicker than it was before, but it still didn't help. I still looking like issue. As soon as the left pinch roller touches the shaft, speed decreases, and like I'm already tried so many different things, you wouldn't believe me. Alright, see you. Well guys, and this puzzle just killing me. That's the speed. Currently right side measure it 420 grams, left side 30 grams. You see result. I can like barely touch it with my finger. Speed normalizes 2994996 993. And just release it. 2943, 2940. And see, it definitely changes. So I released. I can show probably on this scale. It will have more waves. So you see it will be changing. Up, higher speed. 995, 996. Okay. Up, lower. You see, like about half of the waveform difference on the screen. I'm already tried everything. Tried different tension, lubricated both reels. I've verified with and without backfill tension. Changed capstan belt. We already like tried to polish honing a little bit with 0.1 micron with agreement with owner. Nothing helps. I'm just puzzled. I tried 3 different sets of pinch rollers. Original, better set from the other Sony still used I have, and the new rollers. All give the same results. So at this point, like I'm puzzled. I'm already fully reassembled and clean it and check it, everything, this tape transfer twice, like fully into parts. And it still gives the same result. I'm so tired. And I've measured it, I've seen like this carriage. So there's 2 metal pins on each side, and carriage gets to the both pins. And like I try, like I cannot easily stop the right wheel, like I can do the left one. Let me show you. So I can install this guide, so my tape will be running because switch will be depressed. So see here, it's after stop was working. What I can do, I can try probably cut tape with this one. So you will be see it better. Let me put you on the tripod. It holds. Now, see, it's running. With right finger, it's not possible to stop unless you apply very, very significant force. And the left one, I can just barely touch and it stops. You hear it, like haven't noise is different. So you see, like I can barely touch it. It can be easily stopped, but I cannot stop the right one. It pulls very, very well. So I just pull the tape with my finger out of its place. That is a test tape, so I don't afraid. Maybe touch it with my fingers. Here it should go above. Back in place. You see how well it rotates now? So that was like, I never saw that these reels are a reason why Sony can slow down the fast forward and rewind speed. I thought it motor. It is not. You see how quickly everything works? I run out of ideas. Would like to hear yours. Well guys, I'm assembled it for now. It plays its records, it's terrific deck. A minus one defect is slow speed. I broke my idea box. I use it all possible ways, so everything is fine. Back engine fine. Supply and take up tension is fine. Like I tried so many different ways, and it's still like as soon as left pinch roller touches, the speed slows to the left pinch roller. I have no idea like what else I can do. We will be looking for spare parts, and for now I just assembled it. So we'll see how things will develop. Stay tuned. Let me know your ideas. It will be pretty interesting to learn if you have had a similar experience on my like 3-year repair career. I have like fourth deck with this problem, and all three times I was able to remediate it, adjusting the tension on the springs. This deck is just like very hard. I cannot get it. So let me know your thoughts. See you and bye bye.